there. Thank you guys for being with me today. I am here with my special guest, Rob Cressy. He is an AI coach, and we're going to talk about how it started and how it's going. And one thing that I mentioned to Rob, I know he has a good story because he is an AI coach. And so how he started was not that. So because it didn't exist back then. So thanks, Rob, for being with me today. I'm excited to dig in and see what you used to do and what you're doing now.
Thank you very much, Amanda. I'm super excited to be here, and you nailed it because people are always like, there's no such thing as an AI expert. I'm like, well, actually, you can create yourself into being one of those despite having no experience whatsoever in it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So let's talk about how it started. We can go back as far as you want. Some people, I had a guest on, he went back to when he was 6 years old and he sold a swing set. So I don't know. We could go back as far as you want to how you kind of got started in this whole entrepreneurial business space.
Yeah, so 16 years ago, I left my corporate job to go all in on living my dreams of getting paid to talk about sports for a living. At that time, I had no self awareness, no growth mindset. I woke up one day at zero, no revenue, no clients, no nothing. And I was like, whoa, I got to figure this stuff out. And for the next 16 years, every day my goal was to make myself better today than I was yesterday. Entrepreneurship is the greatest personal growth and development program known to man. I ran a sports marketing agency for a decade. And then one day I got hired as a high performance coach to coach an ad sales agency in New York to make them better at business by being better at life because the CEO saw the way that I lived my life on Instagram, blending together business and personal at the same time. I never set out to become a coach. I just lived like one for more than a decade. So I transitioned from sports marketing. I was hired as a host of shows professionally to a full-time coach, which felt very incongruent and foreign to me because a lot of people want to do that and I just lived like that. But then what would have been 3.5 years ago, I get a text message from my friend Jeff and he says, hey, Rob, you got to check out this thing called ChatGPT. And he texted me the first week ChatGPT came out in December 2022. And within the first minute of using it, I felt like I used the internet for the first time.
Yeah.
Immediately, I saw the next decade of business and I was all in.
All right. What was your corporate job? I'm curious to know before you left and went out on your own.
My background is in digital advertising sales. So selling banner ads and text links and newsletters and how do you monetize a digital website. And here's the thing about that. I got paid a lot of money and I was great at it. And I did not wake up every single day looking forward to slinging banner ads and text links.
You didn't. I can't imagine. I can't imagine why that doesn't
Crazy
sound
how
right.
that works, right? But that's one of those things where I said to myself, I'd regret it for the rest of my life if I didn't give it a shot at making my dreams happen.
I know. Okay, so you're making a bunch of money. You're young. I'm assuming 16 years
Yep.
ago or more, uh, or younger, we'll say, but pretty young, I'm sure. You're making great money, but something was there that wasn't there. You were missing something. Do you remember what that felt like when you would get up and drag yourself out of bed and get to work or whatever? Like, what did that feel like when you had to show up every day to do that thing?
1,000,000%. Go watch the movie Office Space. I was Peter from Office Space, where I would show up 7 minutes late and then leave 7 minutes early because eight was the number there. And I was so good at what I did because in sales, you just sort of like what you make, you create.
Yeah.
That I was only working half the time. So I think for a lot of people, as you go up higher, you actually can do less work and make more money. So I was spending half of my days writing a sports blog and the other half actually doing my air quotes job. And I would just sit there and dream about the day where all I did was create sports content all day, every day. And I was like, oh my God. So like the job was there. I did not enjoy doing it. I did not wake up excited for it. I was that work hard, play hard ad sales party bro.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. I've been there also. Could have stayed, could have been fine had I stayed. but there was something else pulling me in a different direction. And that has happened maybe a few times. Has it happened a few times for you over the course of since you left that corporate world? I think it has, since you said you were in sports and then you went into this and went into that. What happened next?
So it would have been three seismic changes.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate to entrepreneurship, and then the entrepreneurship starting a sports marketing agency for a decade, COVID hitting,
Oh, yeah.
wiping out the sports industry. I'm hired professionally to help brands market to sports fans and to be the face of shows in fantasy sports and sports betting. And then I had a choice. I could either die like the rest of the sports industry. There was no forward. When is this coming back?
Yeah.
The jobs that were there are no longer existing anymore, even though I was working. Living.
What happened?
I apologize for this. Where did you lose me here? I don't know what is. I've been working here all day, and I don't have an answer. But can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do I look normal?
You look totally normal. Do I look normal?
You are a little pixelated for a second.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's the best thing that I can say, having done this 1,000 times, is we just keep rolling with
Yeah,
this,
we
even
roll,
though
we
I'm.
cut it, we do it, whatever. I'm not bothered.
Yep.
You were COVID, everything died.
Cool. So COVID hits, sports industry dies, and I had a choice. I can either die like the rest of the industry, the jobs that are there are no longer there, the budgets aren't there because there's no games, or I could step into my true calling of being a coach and helping people. So I legitimately had a decision. Would I rather sling sports betting or helping people be better versions of themselves? And it's not that I had a judgment against sports betting, but my true calling is helping people. So I stepped into that. So I was a high performance and personal development coach for several years. And it's the background of what actually makes me great at AI, because I've done the inner work that most people haven't done. And then several years later, when ChatGPT came out, immediately on the dime, my entire business changed. Everybody started coming to me for the AI side of things, but little did they know they come to me for the AI, but what matters is what you put into the AI, which is actually my old high performance and personal development background. So AI became the hook. What you put into it becomes the actual what they need. And that's why I've created, coming from a human first perspective, because that's what I've philosophically have lived for 16 years.
Yeah, that's one thing that when we were talking before that I really connected with, because AI, it's almost like a love-hate thing for me right now. And especially if you're in this marketing space or business growth space, you are inundated right now with AI everything. Oh my gosh, have you seen the new Claw thing or the Manus whatever or whatever the new thing is? And for me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to deal with it. But when I talked with you about how you approach the AI sphere, it was more aligned with how I feel about it too. I use AI all the time, but I'm not over here just like creating incessant automations for no reason, right? Like I'm fine with that. But I love the fact that you help people use it with their heart and with a purpose rather than just, I don't know. You know how there was like bro marketing and that's still a thing?
And I am a bro. I'm in a fraternity. I'm a sports guy. So yes, I get it. And that's not a slight for me. I've used the AI bro as the other term that people would
That's
say,
what I'm thinking.
even
Like,
though they
there's
would
the
look
AI
at me.
bros. There's the AI bros now too, and maybe that's the turnoff for me. It's like, guys, come on, just like have a human to human connection here. So How does your approach to AI differ from the so many people that I see on the internet right now, how they're using it? How are you using it, and how are you helping others use it as well?
It's the complete opposite of how 99% of people in the world do it. And it starts with, where are you leading from, right? So I know what's about to happen in the next 10 years, especially on LinkedIn. The world is going to outsource their authenticity and connection to the robots,
Yeah.
right? So marketers ruin everything. Oh my God, here comes ChatGPT. I can create SEO optimized blog posts, 1,000 of them in 2 minutes. Boom, they go this out there, and here's this AI slop. And then everyone's like, see, I can tell you're using M dashes. This thing doesn't work. AI is the worst, right?
Yeah.
I get it. But the misplaced focus is where you're coming at from that. So they are leading with the AI and then shipping it. I teach and fundamentally live, we are the boss, AI is the assistant, right? What's coming first? Human. The
Yeah.
majority of the world, the AI is coming first, which is why when you see the people who have trash content, so much of it is because they're letting the AI lead. Because you could just say, write me a blog post around marketing strategy versus, let me tell you the 10 hardest things that I learned from my best client ever, which ended up turning into the worst. And
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, this is a real thing right there. Because I want you to be able to feel me. And that's why I say a heart first perspective, because there is one thing that AI will never have. Remember this forever.
Yes.
Soul, SOUL.
Mm-hmm.
So our ability to infuse it with our vision, our identity, and our values is an absolute superpower, because nobody has Amanda's stories. Nobody has Amanda's experiences. No one has your perspective. And our ability to do that is the thing that really sets you out. So I created something called the Human AI Sandwich. It's a very simple framework for creation in the AI era. So let's imagine what a sandwich looks like.
Yeah.
There is bread, and then below that is veggies, cheese, and meat, and then there is bread again below.
Right.
So let's start at the top. The first piece of the bread is human. The human comes in and says, this is my goals, this is my vision, this is my context, this is what I want to create, right? We're in control right here. So let's call that the top 10%. Then the 80% is co-creation, the meat, the cheese, the veggies. This is where you're iterating, you're going back and forth. I like this, I don't like this. Let's add some more color here. Ooh, I like this, let's tweak that. And then for a lot of people, maybe they just go right there and then they ship that. And they're like, we're good, Rob. See, I did this the right way. But they forgot the last part of the human AI sandwich is the human in the last piece of bread. You check the work before you ship it.
Yeah.
Right? Because yes, it can do things faster. Yes, we can create efficiencies, but I want human eyes on something before I do it, AKA validate and verify. Right? This is one of those simple inches of greatness. It's easy to not do, but nothing great ever came from your comfort zone. Human, AI plus human, human. Well, with that framework, I have guaranteed I started with me and I ended with me.
Yeah.
And that simple philosophy is something that becomes scalable and foundational. And it's why I call what I do a human first approach, because we're talking vision, values, and identity. And Amanda, side note, the reason why most people don't do this is because they've never done, air quotes, the work on themselves, or actually the work in what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. So there's a couple things that are coming up for me. One is, I read a stat on LinkedIn the other day that said 53% of the content you're doom scrolling is generated by AI, which that post, I didn't even dig into it, but it was probably an AI post too. So number one, that all that content, people are creating it thinking they're outsourcing, they're saving time because they're just checking that box off, right? Of just like, okay, I posted today, but they're automating that. So they're forgetting maybe even the middle of your sandwich, or the bottom, definitely the bottom part, right? The check it and make sure, like, quality assurance, almost, you could say. Another part is, why do I want to, why would I want to use it? If I just want to use my own voice anyway and share my own experiences and stories, what advantage do I have by working that hard with a machine to do the thing that I used to do without it?
So I'll go backwards in this. And you told me the answer in your language. Working that hard with the machine. This isn't hard. This is effortless. It is creative. So the thing that separates me from 99% of people is I am intentional about everything that I do in my life, including choosing my lens for how I see the AI era, right? So the reason why on minute one of using ChatGPT, I was like, holy smokes, I'm all in. The reason is because I grinded for 16 years as an entrepreneur every single day, and it built me a marketing strategy legitimately in 2 minutes that I previously used to charge clients $5,000 in 30 days to build.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is a different level game right there. So the advantage comes from your thinking. So Amanda, one of the things that gives me so much optimism for every single person that I speak to, because I have no AI background, no coding background, no tech background whatsoever. This is all around the way you think about creating in the AI era. You can choose to create a slop farm and publish automated content every single day right there. My perspective on this, because if you could see my LinkedIn feed, half the people are AI bros, and then the other half the people are having pitchforks that I can tell you're using an M-dash. AI is the devil, right?
Yeah.
So I'm living in between both of these things here. And it's very simple, my perspective. You know I am an AI coach, and I am going to be so good with AI that you want to pay me.
Yeah.
Right? So, well, what has to happen for that to happen? And most people don't ask this question. Well, number one, you are going to know by design everything that I do has heart and value, right? So I'm not just going there just to post. There's going to be stories. There's going to be nuggets. So I come from a philosophy as a creator, which I left my old life to do to be a full-time creator. It's like, this is the thing that I want to do all the time. So because of this, I love creation. So AI as an advantage for me is a collaborator. I'm very conversational in how I write and I talk. That does not always mean that I hit my notes and beats in my structure. I might go from here to here to here to here, and AI might just say, hey, Rob, let's start hook, problem, story, wrap the bow, boom, CTA. And I'm like, oh, thanks for polishing that up for me. That's a little bit better right there. So it feels a little bit more manicured, but I was just a little bit more intentional about it. So for me, I'm always starting as the creator. I've got the idea, and then I'm always just taking my phone and I'm speaking the language in there, and then I'm cleaning it up from there. But if most people just took the perspective of, if you're going to create with AI, can you be so good that people want to pay you for it? I'm not hiding from it. You don't sit there and be like, here's an AI coach. There's nothing he does that's AI. No, AI to me is a process. It is a workflow. It is a collaboration. So now for me, I'll do a post, and then AI can write or create an image for me in 30 seconds that I can attach to that. But that's an option. Normally, I'll just take a selfie of me because now you can see I'm a human with this, right? Yeah. So I'm always looking for the layers of this. So that's really my perspective. And then around the doom scrolling side of things, audit your inputs, right? So good in, good out, bad in, bad out. And there's just so much sensationalism online. For me, I want to straight learn, or I want to read your post because you and I just had this connection on this podcast. I'm like, cool, I get down with Amanda now, and there's a reason for me to do it. But 53% being created with AI, I get it, but I don't see AI as the problem. I see the human as the problem.
Yeah. Well, the human's the one telling the AI what to do, right? So, right, the input matters. So Why would somebody come and work with you? What do you do for them?
I'm the best in the world at helping entrepreneurs and leaders grow their business with AI from a human first perspective. If you want to go somewhere fast, go with someone who is where you want to be. And at the same time, I am a coach, a champion for you, and a co-creator. And to think that I am the reason for all the results, wrong. I'm there to help accelerate it for you. I can show you some blind spots. I can show you some things that I'm doing right now. I can help accelerate the speed. Most people, Amanda, just don't even know anybody who does what I do. So if you sit there and you're saying, hey, Rob, I heard AI is a thing. I don't even know where to start. Well, where do you think a good place to start would be? Probably the guy who spent the last 3 years speaking on stages and helping people with AI. Or you say, hey, Rob, I've been using AI for the last few years, but I see some new things like Claude and Claude Code and Manus, and I don't understand all of that. I've got tons of stuff going on. I have a busy life. I have very little time. I wonder if that guy can help me get to where I want to go faster. And then there's those who say, I have a massive dream. I know that the next decade of business, AI is going to be a part of it. And I want to be someone who leads from the front. And I want to work with someone who can help me do that like the best in the world. This isn't like a little micro upgrade. Like you don't come to me and say, oh my God, here's a nice little PDF. It's like, no, we're on a rocket ship. Let's go.
Who's your ideal person you love to work with? Is it a corporation? Is it a CEO? Who is it?
So the answer for this is someone who has AI as a top 3 priority in their goals this year. A lot of people love the idea of AI, but they're interested. One of the unique perspectives I have is I probably have 500 plus hours of coaching one-on-one and group around AI on top of the number of conversations in my DMs from CEOs, executive team leaders, entrepreneurs, and everything in between. And from where I sit, the corporate side of things has been the most challenging, not because of me, because of them, right? The layers of bureaucracy and red tape. The thing about entrepreneurship, we can move at the speed of lightning, right? Icebergs are slow moving to turn around the Titanic. That's what a corporation is. Oh, Rob, we love this idea. Talk to one person, talk to the CEO, send me over a proposal and all of this stuff. I know sales and all of that. But I watch the time delay in real time. And the biggest challenge in AI is time and experience. So here's a simple audit, Amanda, for everybody right now. Because I just had a person who became a client go through this. I asked them a simple question that had 2 questions to it. I guess that's not one question. I guess it's 2 questions. I said, number 1, how many hours a week are you using AI? And number 2, how many hours a week are you learning about AI?
2 different things.
But
so are they? Because if you're using it, are you learning at the same time?
Not for people who are dabbling.
Okay.
So it would be like, can you be doing something and be doing it incorrectly and under indexing your results? So for example, could you go to the gym 1 hour a week and then be terrible at what you're doing in the gym, putting in no effort, seeing no results and being like, the gym doesn't work?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, cool. Well, how much time are you spending about creating a plan? And how does the gym actually work from getting an optimized thing? And most people are treating AI like Google. So you can just sign up for ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini for free or for $20 a month. And then you're like, all right, cool. I don't need to read the maps and directions. I'm just going to use this thing.
Just jump in.
And then you get generic results and you're like, I don't see what everybody's all about. And here's the thing. The person who said this to me said, I'm using ChatGPT 5 hours a week and I'm learning 0. I had a conversation with her a year and a half prior, and she was in the exact same position a year and a half later.
That makes a lot of sense. This is applicable not just in AI.
1,000,000%.
You know that. Because you've done that before with other people in different contexts.
100%. So it's like, one of my favorite quotes is happiness is a function of expectations, right? We think that I can just sign up for Claude today and push the magic button and we're riding on this magic carpet ride like everybody else who has legitimately spent 1,200 days using this thing.
Yeah.
So the big hole in the boat is a lot of people think that you could, if I were to use a Brazilian jiu-jitsu analogy, you could learn from a black belt. They could tell you all of the moves and everything what to do, and then that person would get on the mat. That does not make them a black belt.
Yeah.
You have to do this. So the number one key to success and growth in AI is experience. Do the work. How do I know? Because 3.5 years ago, I'd never even used this before. Yet somehow, day after day after day after day, and Amanda, here's the crazy thing. So this past week, based on some language that I've been hearing from clients and around the marketplace, I created a new concept, and I actually haven't even publicly shared this yet.
Ooh,
so you're going to get some scoop here. And it is all around the term behind, being left behind.
Oh, yeah.
So there's 3 levels of this. Level 1 is the people or companies that aren't doing anything with AI. It's a 0. They're going to get left behind because there's no way this is stopping. They're just going to keep going there and they're going to wonder what happened. So that's the first version of left behind. Version 2 is those people who use AI because I don't want to get left behind. So they come from a position of scarcity, right? They're like, this thing's happening. I don't want to lose my job. I better learn this thing. But it's not necessarily the best energy or mindset, right? There's a lot of scarcity in there, which can be why you could use it 5 hours a week and not learn. Mm-hmm. But then there's those of us at the top of the food chain who feel behind. And this is a high performers paradox. Yep. The absolute best people in AI that I know that have been using it for thousands of days, they are sitting there and they're saying, Rob, I feel like we have a 12 to 18 month window to where we have a massive advantage. And I feel so far behind right now. Despite the fact that those people are creating the output of 10 people and are using AI 12 hours a day, every single day for 3 years in a row. Look at the levels of the game there. Bottom 0, this one's scarcity. The ones who are the best are like, oh my God, this thing is ending soon and I've got to go. It doesn't mean that we're coming from scarcity of time. It's actually what makes high performers great at what they do. It's this element of faster, not in the need of scarcity, but because of potential and opportunity. And if I could give your audience one gift right now for the AI era, it would be to come from a lens of possibility and opportunity, not scarcity.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that on minute 1 of using ChatGPT, I saw the next decade of business. I saw what was possible. And I truly believe this is the greatest opportunity we will ever have in the history of the world to make our dreams happen.
I agree with you. I think like what I hear is you can be out of fear using it or not using it and getting left behind. But those high performers, they're wanting to possibly lead from the front. So they're trying to get up there. They don't want to, it's not about being left behind. It's about their leaders, right? They are the pioneers, so to speak, because we've never been here before. We're truly pioneers. So I think that applies, I think, in a lot of different areas of life, not just in AI, but when you come out, you're trying to create something because of scarcity, how likely is it going to be that it's going to be successful? Or feel good when you're doing it? It's not really, right?
You just unlocked one of the things that is in my foundational methodology. It is all around leadership. Because Amanda, one of the challenges right now, certainly on the more executive or seasoned leader level, is here's people who are used to doing awesome and kicking ass in all areas of their life and business, making a ton of money. And then here comes this thing in which they're at 0. And it is
Yeah.
very incongruent to them,
Very
right?
difficult.
Right? So it's like, I am unbelievable at what I do. And then the market's like, by the way, if you don't do this AI thing, you're screwed. Your company's going out of business. People are going to lose jobs. And you're like, whoa, but I don't have enough time to do this. I have a full family, I have a business and all of this. And it's a very incongruent thing. So what is the flip? The flip is exactly what you said, and it is such a key. And I wish I could bottle up what you said and give that to every single person who comes into my orbit, because I preach the same thing. It is all around, how do you want to lead in the AI era? It is not about AI. It is about your leadership, because one of the things that makes me great is I understand newness and change and doing hard things. It's just par for the course of entrepreneurship. So when AI came around, or when COVID came around, I sat there and I'm like, well, that's just like Tuesday, right? It's something new that I have to learn, that I've never seen before. I'll ram my head against the wall a couple of times. I'll go forward. I'll go backwards. I'll learn. And if you've ever read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, this is just growth mindset 101.
Yeah. You have to be willing to suck at it. How about that?
Right. Or if you don't want to suck, if only there was someone who could help you not suck less.
To suck less. Or not at
all.
One
day, one of those people will
close
come
that
around.
gap. You help bridge that gap.
100%. So back to who works with me, the people who are like, boom, I want some of that.
Yeah. So how it started, you were just a regular dude selling ads in corporate America, getting paid well, took a leap, went out on your own, made that work, right? We're kind of forced to. The same kind of thing happened to me. And then you just take it as it comes, right? Is that accurate? It's like, okay, well, I did this. It's all right, but I feel like I want to go do this now, which was where you got into the high performance coaching, and then the AI came in. So my question for you now is, what's next? Because, I mean, AI is not going anywhere, but at the same time, if you're like me, get kind of bored, get kind of antsy, want to do something else, maybe not completely, scrap it and start over. But what do you see next for Rob over the rest of this year and beyond?
So I love that you said this, because remember, I don't have a background in any of this stuff. I'm not rolling in here wearing a ChatGPT shirt being like, oh my God, I'm team AI, right? I actually say sometimes that I don't care about AI despite being an expert in AI, right? It's a tool. Everybody's so romantic about it. Oh my God, you wrote that LinkedIn post with AI, I can tell. And I'm like, let's drop the romance, guys. Like, I just want to live an awesome life for this. So will I be AI guy for the rest of my life? No, it's a skill. I'm just the best in the world at this skill. That's never going to go away. As I look at this year, it's all around impact. More stages as a keynote speaker, one-to-many opportunities for workshops, team coaching and engagement. Because here's the thing that really lights me up, Amanda. I truly believe we have the greatest opportunity to create positive impact in the world because of AI. And there's going to be two camps. And this is no different than anything in life, whether it was the internet, TV, music, and anything. Yeah. There's going to be some people who use it for bad. And right now, so much of the world in media is stranger danger and negative, right? So there's like a 10-to-1 ratio of negative information to positive information. Well, the good thing for everybody is this guy over here, Team Good Vibes, who uses AI, I know that there is no ceiling to this. So I'm not intimidated by the fact that I can change the world and lead a global movement, because I show up a certain way every single day where I create who I am first, not jump on my phone, not jump on AI, right? So I do the inner work, and then I want to lead others to help them along on their journey. Because Amanda, and this is probably for old Rob and old Amanda, could you imagine if like 25 years ago when I was working in terrible jobs, making no money with an hour commute each way, if I'd had the opportunity to have someone show me that you could use AI to create a better life in any area of your life, what would be possible? So I truly feel a responsibility and an obligation to share this, which is why I'm even on this podcast right now.
Yep.
Because the world needs to hear more of a message like this, because it is possible for you, it is possible for me, it is possible for everybody who is living right now. And I want to be that person who helps the world any way that I can. And I truly believe I can change the world.
That's awesome. Whether it was, I think you would have done this, whether it was through AI, if AI never even came out, it would have been through some other mechanism, right? Or through some other avenue. It just AI happened to be the vehicle that showed up at this time. So
it's what I was previously doing, right? This is, like I said, high performance personal growth, Rob. I worked on the inner work and the brand building and all this. I was already a speaker. I was already a podcaster. I was already doing all of this. The vehicle and the acceleration just changed, but the message and the heart didn't, right? It just so happens that I got a lot more eyeballs. I'm doing it a little bit more of a unique way right there. But this is why my message is different in AI, because so much of AI is tech, tools, automation, and updates. I'm not that person. I get it. But so much of the way that I used AI in the very beginning was to coach myself.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the opposite of perfect. So as an entrepreneur, I'm sitting there. How am I growing my business? How am I doing? How am I creating offers? How am I working on my mindset? Hey, man, I've got some junk in my head right now. Can you help me reframe this stuff? And people are like, wait, you can do what with this? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, everything is possible. It's a canvas. And when you come from that perspective, anything is possible. And all you've got to do is experience it once. And then you can't unsee, or in this instance, unhear what you just heard.
I'm going to ask another question. I thought about it for a second, if I should or not. But a friend of mine and I were talking the other day. And we're part of different mastermind groups. And something that we observe in the groups is that AI is causing the mastermind group engagement to go down because people are asking AI and chatting with AI rather than the old way of going to the collective, putting it out there and getting the human response back. So how do we get the balance in that to where, because human mastermind groups are vital. I hope those never go anywhere, because there is nothing like it. You can't have that kind of relationship with your computer. Like, you just can't. And you can talk to AI all you want. You can talk to Chat or Claude or whatever. You can get all the ideas and things. But when you're in a room with people or in a Facebook group with people or wherever you're chatting with people, you're getting a different human perspective. So how do you think we can make sure that if you're running a mastermind group or a team of people or whatever, that we're keeping that human conversation engagement alive while still, accessing the AI tools that we have available?
I'm so glad you asked this, because I could see the gears moving in your eyes. When you looked to the side, I was like, please ask it, please ask it, please. Because I'm somebody, no crazy concept here. I've been in tons of masterminds and groups. Why? Because my personal growth and development background, learn from the best in the world. So I'll give two answers to this: how I actually do it and show up, and then what I would recommend for other people there. And Amanda, this is something that is going to be a benefit for someone like you who does podcasting and video, right? Most people are scared to be on camera. So in a mastermind group, you rarely see somebody publishing a video. For me, I'm always doing video. So if I'm going to engage in a group, I'm going to pop up on my phone in very selfie style. I'm going to share the thing that's on my mind right there. And I'm legitimately going to come from a place of curiosity. Because when I'm in these groups, part of it is the people like you. Man, if only I could get Amanda's perspective on blah, blah, blah. It's not a right or a wrong, but there's a shared experience element. You might say, Rob, I went through that 15 years ago. Here's what I learned. AI isn't going to say, here's what I learned. And by doing it on video, you can feel me, you can see me, and you can hear me. So there's that heartbeat side of things. So by design, I am going to stand out just from the simple fact that you're going to see me on video. We know there will also be a silent majority and a vocal minority. Most people will never engage with your posts, period. But the number of times I've had people say, Rob, I love your videos. I love your videos. I love your videos. Right? So now this comes from the service position, and you can feel me when I'm asking the question. So when I'm in the mastermind group, I legitimately want to know, guys, I'm working on this problem right now. Here's what's going on. Boom. So that's how I'm showing up that way. For other people there, I understand the self-education piece of AI and how it can come in there and where it can fit in our decision-making stack. But one of the biggest terms for me right now in AI is discernment.
Oh my gosh, that's my word. That's my word.
Boom shakalaka. So then you're going to love this because we now have the ability to create 100x the amount of ideas, tasks, anything that you want right there. So part of us being leaders in the AI era is our discernment.
Yep.
So if I can create a lens for how I show up to AI, I can create a lens for how I show up to a mastermind. So is this a sacred space where I value the opinions of others, where I want to answer their questions and I want to publish videos, or do I just want to outsource everything to the robots? And I understand where there's a place for each of those there, but my encouragement would be look at the word intention. Yeah. What is your intention with all of this? But then use your discernment filter and say, man, how would a human perspective help with this? Because that's why I'm in this room right here, is these people have lived and shared experiences. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's really vital. What I'm hearing is for the mastermind leader, the creator of that mastermind who had the vision to put these people together, to make sure that they're encouraging their humans to continue talking to one another. Not like telling them to not, consult chat or whatever, but to make sure that they're still leaning on the human side of things too. I just think that's going to be an increasingly growing problem for mastermind groups and leadership teams and things like that. They just will start isolating themselves even more. And we're already a very isolated society, thanks to lots of different things that have happened over the last, 6 years, maybe even before that. So AI is great, but I think the human side of things is still very valuable, and we can't just push that off to the side now because we have this super fast computing machine that can respond to us at any time.
So I wrote down 3 words, Amanda, for anybody running a mastermind right now, or you want to be a contributor there. How are you? ... How are you? And then insert using AI. How are you balancing being a parent and being a leader? How are you hitting your goals in 2026 despite blah, 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 blah? And then the second thing I wrote down is shared experience.
Yep.
Right? Confidence is earned via lived experience. Part of the value of a mastermind is this is what I learned. This is what I went through. This is my perspective. ChatGPT can't tell you about the bachelor party it went on. It can't tell you about your kids' birthdays. It can't tell you about those moments when you almost gave up, but you pushed through and it became your breakthrough, right? But easy isn't always the best way. It is easy to outsource to AI, but that's why we can continually come back to, what is that term? The human first approach to AI. And we know by design, the majority of the world's not going to do this.
Yeah.
And you know what? That gives me so much optimism. Not fear, Optimism. I love being positioned where I am. I do not subscribe to the majority of what the world speaks because I would prefer to have this heart first connection with people because I believe we're about to enter an era that is going to mimic the isolation of COVID, except it's going to be AI and it's going to be significantly accelerated. So the thing that I'm actually doubling down on is humans in connection, in person, in groups,
Yep.
in conversation. Because you're going to long for someone saying, I live in Oklahoma, I've got a son graduating, my kids play hockey, and you're like, whoa, I can relate to these things.
Yep. I love it. How what's the best way for someone to get in touch with you? What do you want them to do?
Hit me up on Instagram or LinkedIn, DM me Amanda, and I will send you a guide that'll help accelerate your AI journey. I'm very visible in what I do. I truly do want to help. If you vibed with this conversation, let me know. If you want my email, rob@robcressy.com, but I'm on social everywhere. I'm on YouTube, so I legitimately just pump out not AI driven content, content for high performing people who want to grow their business and life from a human first perspective and learn how to use AI in a simple way from somebody who lives it, right? Not theory, not tech, not tools, but like practical things of like, hey, here's a way that I'm using this to create a cartoon book with my 4-year-old son. It's like, oh, okay. So hit me up at Rob Cressy everywhere. I would love to hear from you.
Great. I'll put all your links in the show notes too, just so everybody can connect with you wherever they want to. Thanks for your time today. It was really great chatting and talking and learning that our favorite word is also together discernment. So
Love that. Thank you for having me on, Amanda. I really enjoyed this.
thanks.